Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Press 1 if you're already subbed. If you're not, the hell, man. Why do you hate me? Senzu makes history as the first Mongolian to become a top 20 player of the year. Huge. Huge for Senzu, man. This is kind of like such a bittersweet, like, moment, is it not? Bro, we're literally reading the top 20 player that's currently on the bench right now. It's really bittersweet. Crazy to think about, dude. Let's go through his stats here. So EVP at Blast Austin, World Cup, Fissure, and Thunderpick. They got first in the World Cup, second at Austin, Bounty, Fissure, third at Cato, Pro League, Melbourne, Dallas, Thunderpick. Whew. All right. Major rating. He made the jump and then he's on the bench, man. He did it. I know it's a small sample size, but like he really did make the jump and then just go straight to the bench. 1.10 versus top 10 teams in the world. 1.14 grand finals. He's a top 10 player in grand finals. 1.07 round swing. What's another fun one in here to look at? His multi-kill looks nice. 5.2. He loves 3Ks, huh? The big one is the major rating, but it's a small sample size, but still, like, man. Dude, this is crazy. I forgot about this. Did you guys ever see this? Bro, that's Mazinho and Senzu, 13 and 14 years old, dude. Am I gonna get DMCA'd for this? Probably. Dude, how crazy is that? Just farming CS, man. That's like how this Mongols team is like coded, basically. Like, dude, they found 910 at a fucking LAN cafe. Fuck. It's just kind of crazy. They're gonna talk like this whole, but basically, he came out and like clarified that it wasn't like a lot of people were speculating a lot of other shit that were kind of not so great in nature. Because for those of you that don't know, bro was not, as many people with CS and that are younger. He had a problem with the Gemba. So a lot of people were speculating stuff when he benched himself, but it does just seem like true burnout / like not knowing. We don't know, but it seems like burnout. He came out and basically kind of dispelled all that shit, which is good. Said he kind of handled his shit. I'm just trying to take a glance here. So he really benched himself. Dude, that's right. He basically played up until the major. Crazy, man. Just a sea of green. He left before Chengdu. I know, but that's still like, we have so many CS events. That's still like right before the major in my mind. You know what I mean? Absolutely disgusting though, dude. He's such a good player. And this was the year that Senzu genuinely, I feel like, found himself in terms of at least like his performances deeper into tournaments and on stage and stuff. Obviously, Cato, maybe not so much, but the rest of the year, he really did just like, it seemed like Mongols had figured it out, But then there was like those murmurs or like they were playing, I can't remember which event it was. Was it World Cup they said they didn't practice, chat? Or was it like later with Fissure or Pro League? One of these in the second half of the year, they talked about like basically they weren't even practicing or playing because they were just burnt out. Was it Cologne? Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember like just wondering, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? And they were still performing fine, but it kind of, I think, later crept up as like what was going on with Senzu, I guess, was just like the burnout. Let's just get into how he ended up at 13 and what HLTV wants to focus on. Otherwise, we could be here all day. All right, here we go. Senzu's charge in the top 20 ranking was fueled by his tally of 4 EVPs, 3 of which came from big events, and one of them was the best player in the run at Austin Major, 1.3 major rating. Third, though he did miss Budapest. It's crazy that he had a 1.3 at majors, only played the first major of the year, and he still was third. But I have a feeling I know who the other two are. 5 additional strong VP awards were proof of a well-rounded and high output despite October benching, as well as a solid 1.10 against top 10 teams, 0.73 kills per round, and 21.8% maps above a 1.45. That award volume has not been possible had Senzu not eventually conquer his major playoff or his playoff demons. I can't speak right now with a 1.16 playoff rating. Mongols Dallas Pearl Patch helping him get a respectable 1.07 big match rating, 1.05 in arenas, and a 1.14 in 14 grand final maps, 9th overall. There were gaps in Senzu's case. He only had 1 EVP at elite events, 1.03 against top 5, and those middling playoff numbers against top 20 players started to hurt him in the head-to-head as the list continued. That many could not go any higher than 13th. So basically, Senzu made a big step this year. It was pretty obvious. He popped off at the Austin Major, but still, like, Mongols was still kind of struggling to beat the best teams consistently, and Senzu was a big part of that when they were playing like the super elite of the elite. They just kind of, they weren't bad. There was a clear front runner this year, and they ran into that front runner a lot. And a lot of people's, when you run into Vitality a lot and you run into some of these other teams in the top 5 a lot, your stats aren't always going to be as sexy. And I think that's just kind of what it came down to. But still, such a cool achievement for him, man. First Mongolian player in the top 20, chat. Fuck, dude, why has he got to be on the bench? Why has he got to be on the bench, dude? Why does burnout got to be a thing? We should all just, say no to burnout. Right? That's how that works, right? Oh man, fuck. It's so ass, man. I feel so bad. Cause you know how bad that feels too? Like imagine you're burnt out, like you're self-aware of what's happening around you, but also like you can't get out of it at the same time. That's gotta be such a suffocating feeling. But Senzu's choice for 2026 bold prediction. Well, funny enough, since we just recorded the Cobra Zera video, this is funny. Cobra Zera, the player who replaced him on the Mongols next year. Cobra is a 61% headshot star for the Huns, who's actually older than the man who picked him. He has the potential and the work ethic to become a top 20 player next year. Senzu says, choice praised for yet another talented rifler to help from the step. Well, I know it's funny that he basically picked his replacement, but still, like, I'm curious to see how it goes, man. My only worry is I hope the other players aren't burnt out as well, like just maybe hiding it more. It's a lot of travel for those guys, dude. Like people will be like, oh, well, so, like if he's getting burnt out, that doesn't mean the others are immune because they haven't yet. You know what I mean? Imagine how the other guys feel when they have somebody on their team go through that. We saw something similar happen with Astralis, where I feel like the first bits of burnout started to creep in and it kind of took hold in like different phases and stages with the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why hopefully Mongols can keep their roster just stable. I hope any roster changes or anything going on with the roster are like made purely based on Counter-Strike moves and not outside factors. And I hope because I think they can really do a big push, man. I really do. Let me know though. Did you guys have Senzu higher? What do you guys think? I mean, I think Senzu did have a great year. It's weird because we didn't see him at the major. We didn't see him at Chengdu, but like when you remember the year that Mongols had and you remember like some of the performances that Senzu had, it's very obvious he's a big part of that, Should have been top 5. All right, man. Now we're just trolling. Well, let me know in the comments below if you're watching the YouTube video later where you had him.